The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is a film that was released in 1920, and it is also considered one of the earliest horror films made. German Expressionism was an important aspect for the creation of many cinematic masterpieces of the 1920s. It is considered a counteraction to realism. The visual stylings of German films in the 1920s reflected on intentional escape from reality. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is a film that was able to capture and demonstrate the complete opposite of what reality really is. Reality is defined as the world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them. In other films, we would see perfectly proportioned buildings and houses. We would see less eerie people and camera work that make it look like the characters are living in a realistic state. The distorted sets in the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari give the film an unrealistic, living in a nightmare feel. Some of the most important ways this film demonstrates the opposite of reality is by its uniquely exaggerated sets and its melodramatic lighting. The unrealistic and exaggerated sets influence the audience's emotions and help us see the world of the film with different eyes. Throughout the film, there are many details that help influence the audience's emotions. Some of these details include the costumes, the makeup, and the acting itself. Robert Wiene uses close-up shots in order to open doors so that the audience is pulled in and are given the opportunity to understand the world from that character's point of view as they display their emotions by using facial expressions. Throughout the film, you can see many close-ups of the characters. When these close-ups are shown, Wiene incorporated an object in front of the camera to direct the audience's attention towards the source by darkening everything around it and only focusing on the actor's face. In the particular scene when Caesar is revealed, there is a 35-second shot that solely focuses on Caesar's face as he awakens. When watching this, it's as if you're watching the film through a telescope. Because of this shot can stir claustrophobia within the audience due to the darkened space around Caesar. This is also where acting implements in influencing the audience's emotions because of Caesar's facial expressions as he awakens. Watching the facial expressions with a darkened surrounding can make one feel invasive and can make those 35 seconds feel excruciatingly long. After Caesar wakes up, the scene continues on to show Caesar slowly walking out of the cabinet. As he walks out of the cabinet, it's possible to compare Caesar to a corpse, waking up from the dead as he slowly walks out, one foot in front of the other, slowly trying to gain his balance, with his arms extended in a zombie-like form, ready to explore a new world. Another scene in the film that easily influences the audience's emotions is when Caesar breaks into Jane's bedroom to abduct her. It is possible that this scene in particular can build a sense of fear and paranoia within the audience. This starts as soon as Caesar slowly glides against the wall towards Jane's room. As soon as Caesar sets foot outside her window, we see Jane's bedroom. Wiene incorporated a lot of dark shadows, which continues to enhance the feeling of claustrophobia, but now we can see sharp outlines against the wall. In particular, we see Caesar outside the window, ready to remove the barricade from his way. The dark and sharp shadows, which reflect the murder weapon, all point down in Caesar's direction, indicating that he is the murderer. This particular shot builds suspense and may develop fear in the audience. As he breaks into Jane's bedroom, the surrounding spaces are darkened once again while directing the audience's attention to him as he breaks down the barricade from the window and holds the sharp murder weapon in his hand, causing uneasiness and a fear for Jane's life within the audience. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is an early horror film that has become influential and has inspired films like Frankenstein, the works of Tim Burton, and Ridley Scott. The sets in the film are what makes this movie the unique masterpiece it is. The question is, if the movie had been filmed on a realistic set without the enhancement of distortions and dark shadows, would the audience have still felt claustrophobia and fear? Probably not. They would not have felt these same emotions because the sets are the most important ingredient in spurring up emotions within the audience and in defining this film.